DMJ Reptiles. Two things that have helped me grow as a ball python breeder. Test one. Stand. See how my belly looks. See how everything looks. Does this look good? Does this look good? See my shirt? Sorry I haven't done a lot of videos. It's been a little bit crazy with this quarantine and having my kids around all the time. And, my priorities are obviously my animals. It's one of my big priorities, but my number one priority is being a father to my 3 kids, and a husband to my wife. So I don't have all the time to do the recording as well as the editing and all of that. Once again, I just want to shout out my buddy, Grab Your Balls. Awesome dude, new in the game. He's going to be having a clutch. He's going to be cutting eggs eventually. He's going to have a big year this year. We cannot wait. Everybody part of the Rebel Breeders of New York crew is definitely cheering him on. I want to talk about little things. I want to start doing videos with talking and actually getting in front of the camera and looking at the camera and talking on it. So what I want to start with is a video about what works for me. Things work for everybody. And that's like the big thing about breeding. There is no set formula. If somebody tells you this, you have to do with this, then you don't necessarily have to do with that, depending on what they're talking about. Whatever works for you is what works for you. And you should stick with that. I happen to be really lucky. I've had quite a bit of mentors since I started. I got back into this hobby 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I started producing. This is my 4th year producing. I am no professional, but I do have experience, and I've been dealing with animals for over 20 years, if not longer. My father's an off-the-boat Filipino, so he didn't play baseball in the Philippines. He didn't play basketball. He didn't do any of that stuff. He's 88 years old, so, a little different. The way we bonded was animals. We had turtles, we had frogs, we had chameleons, animals, fish tanks everywhere. If you're from New York, you know a store called Petland. Our house was like Petland. So that's a little bit of a history of the whole thing with me with reptiles. But back to what works and how everything goes. So for me, as a reptile breeder, with all my animals, I would say, well, I'm going to go through the top things that actually allow me to be able to do what I do. Number 1, breed rodents. I breed rodents. A lot of people don't like them. Honestly, I love my rodents. My rats, I open up their bins. They come up to me for pets. I talk to them in little baby voices, and I actually love my rodents. Cleaning them once a week is a lot of work, but it's not a burden either. I actually enjoy working with the animals, seeing who's producing what, who's good mothers, who's bad mothers, how many babies does this mother produce, and working with the genetics of that so that I can keep on rebuilding my colonies using the ones that produce high numbers so that I keep producing these 20 to 30 pup cluck litters. And that started with bloodlines. I got to thank VIP Morphs, Vinnie Meyer. I got rodents from him that were unreal. I took his males, I put them with some of my females. I took his females, put them with some of my males, and I've been able to produce some really highly producing animals, as well as Vinnie also taught me how to really give them the environment. Because when I was first breeding, I didn't pay attention to environment as much. Climate is a very big part of breeding rodents, and now I've figured it out where it's kind of very consistent for me. So breeding rodents allows me to be able to keep the numbers of reptiles that I have. If I were to go to a local pet store, where I am, the local pet store doesn't sell, they sell small rats for $5. Medium rats for like $8, and so on. And there's only one store that actually carries live. Well, there's 2, but the other store is kind of crazy because they sell pinkies for $2.50, pinky mice. But let's not even talk about them. for me, as a breeder, as a rodent breeder, I can actually produce a small rat for around 30 cents, I would say. Between 20 and 30 cents for a small rat. I can't complain about that. It makes feeding a lot easier. Where I'm located now, I don't have the convenience of Brian from Reptile Deli or Dave and Adam from Komodo Reptiles to say, send an email or a text message and know that Wednesday or Thursday or Friday I'm going to get a bunch of rodents. They come in, I feed my snakes, box is ready for them to pick up next week. I don't have that privilege anymore. Well, not privilege, but whatever I would say. You would say it's more of an asset. But then it also works out because then I know what I'm feeding. I know what I'm feeding. I know that they're eating good food. I know everything is all legit. So that's a big part of my breeding where it's taken me as far as where I am, is being actually able to produce the food for all of my animals. So that's number one. Number two, I have to thank the people in the community. A lot of people, when I first got in 5 years ago, it wasn't really about, it was all about making the sale. It wasn't about, being that all-around business to help somebody. I bought snakes from multiple people, and I can say that the number one person that had my back from day one, since snake number one, was John from Snake Man's Exotics. Definitely follow him. Snake Man's Exotics. I bought one snake from John, and then I went back, I bought 2 more snakes, and I said, I explained to him about how, the whole build of this company was really for my children. I didn't have anything passed down to me to create a company, so a big priority that I wanted to do as a father is have something that would be profitable and something that my kids will enjoy to pass on to them. Whether they take it or not, it's all up to them, but I'm not going anywhere either. When I told John that I want to actually turn this into a business, and I want to start building my collections, and I could call John any time of the day, text message him, everything. He was there for me. It wasn't about that sale at the White Plains Reptile Expo. It was as a whole. We became friends, and he really mentored me for till now. I mean, he still mentors me. There's just some advice you can't get from people. I mean, it's some people, it's 20 years of experience, 20 years. You talk to people, 20 years. You talk to them, and they tell you stuff, and even just hearing the stories of what they've gone through and how the market's worked and how people have come in and left and how people have sold $100,000 snakes and now I don't have any snakes. You don't get that from everybody. You get that from the OGs of the breeding community. The next person that has helped me a whole lot is Doug Matsuak from Boa Basement. Great guy. A lot of you don't know him because he's not on Morph Market. He's on King Snake and he's on Fauna. But good news, he will be on Morph Market. He's gonna start doing stuff on Morph Market, and this is a guy that, as of right now, he has 68 first evers. 68. He has 38 boas, 30 balls. First ever. Unreal. This is a man of knowledge. I get to have the pleasure of having a phone call with him once in a blue moon and just pick this encyclopedia of a brain that this guy has, as well as hear stories, hear scenarios, get advice, as well as get high quality animals. Great eaters, beautiful visually. I trust his genetics 100%. I won't doubt any genetics that I get from him. This is a man that's been breeding reptiles over 20 species for over 35 years. These are the people that you should be going to for advice, as well as building a relationship and getting your animals from. Because you may be able to get a nice animal from Craigslist. You don't know what's in that animal. Yeah, visually it looks like this, but what if it has something else? Or what if it says it's a het and it's not a het, or it says it's a male but it's a female, or it's a female and it's a male. I mean, there's just so many varieties that and reasons why you should always be buying from reputable breeders. So, Bowl Basement, check them out. You'll see them on Morph Market soon. Doug is definitely puts a big impression on me. He helps me with a lot of stuff, and I definitely appreciate that, man. The next person I can put on my list of people that help me get to where I am. Not that I'm anywhere high, but everything's growing every year. Everything gets better and better. And it's not, you learn every year. Your first year to your second year to your third year to your fourth year, you get the excitement. You get more clutches. You get better clutches. You do better pairings. You are not buying snakes that you don't need. There's so many different variables that happens over time that you just can't learn overnight. It just takes time. The urges of buying snakes. There's so many buys that I did my first 2 years that were like, whoa, why did I buy that when I look back at it now? But the next person I would say is Vinnie Meyer, VIP Morphs. VIP Morphs, another OG, breeding 15 plus years, 20 years. This guy, he doesn't need to be on Morph Market or any of these pages. He posts his pictures, and these snakes don't even shed, and people are already saying, oh, that snake is mine. And I'm one of those people, and I don't even get the snakes because someone else is already, he's already built from years and years and years of breeding. He's already built this clientele where I can't blame him. If I want a snake, and I've only bought 3 snakes off him, pretty nice snakes, beautiful snakes, super orange dream pastel, or it could be a high intensity orange dream. Hopefully we find that out this next season when it's ready to breed. I got a orange dream yellow belly gravel that I don't have to prove out because Vinny's proven it out this year. I can't wait to find out whether I'm going to be producing ivories or highways. And then I bought my breeder pied het albino from him. Right there, het albino. I trust it because Vinnie Meyer, I know it's a legit snake because he only gets snakes from legit people, and he is 100% legit. And last but not least, definitely not last but not least, Billy, Mutation Creation. This is a guy that is so giant. This guy produces thousands of animals. This guy is shooting videos. He's got Patreon. He's got all this stuff going on. He's got thousands and thousands of followers. He puts up a video. The video has 4,000 views, 8,000 views within 24 hours. And he responds to your messages. You message him and ask him a question. Hey, man, what do you think about this? He may not respond to you right away, but he will respond to you. It's crazy. This guy is so big, but his passion isn't just the animals. It's the community. And this community, being like this now, is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait till the day that the lychee community, the gargoyle community, the crested gecko community, I can't wait till the New Caledonian community catches up to ball pythons and says, instead of me being a hater or jealous or sabotaging you, people do that. You won't believe it. People will sabotage you. People will make it hard for you to get an animal or whatever so that you're not the next person competing against them. And people in ball pythons do that, but there is such a large community of people that are right beside you, cheering you on, going, yeah, that's fucking awesome. You just produced that snake. That snake is beautiful. Congrats. I love it. So hopefully one day the New Caledonian breeding programs will actually catch up and people will actually be more for producing newer, cooler animals and spreading the love in the community. So those are the 2 big things that got me to where I am 5 years down the road. You know, my best advice is do the right thing. Everything happens for a reason. You know, be out there, whatever knowledge that you can help people with, help them. And if you don't know, don't say it. Because bad information is also out there. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do some more videos. Hopefully you like this video. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I have my DMJ Reptiles Instagram now. I have my Chef DMJ Reptiles because I'm trying to separate all the stuff, all the other side hobbies I like, and cooking's one of them. So it has its own page. And then my kids have their own page, DMJ Reptile Kids, because all this crap about not, there's so much stuff going on in the community where you can't have kids in your videos or YouTube flags it and all this nonsense. So unfortunately, we're going to be pushing on the kids' videos onto their own page, DMJ Reptile Kids on YouTube. I just want to take the time to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow. You can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Later.